Welcome back to Cardigan Bay Fishing Adventures. I'm doing the stringers today. I'm just cutting these ready to go in. I'm not worried about the height. As you can see, this is an offcut of one already. You can see the curve. I'm hoping I can use this for the next one. I am running out of Celotex and this stuff is flipping expensive. At the moment it's costing roughly 30 to 40 pound a sheet. I'm only getting one, maybe two stringers. At the moment, I think I'm going to be around 8 stringers-ish, maybe 9. Then you've got all the bits in between. That's a lot of sheets of Celotex. Luckily, I've got a friend who's been helping with the boat, the one who's helped me get the shed. He did actually give me 3 sheets of Celotex for nothing. Without that, this would have been a lot more expensive. Anyway, we'll jump straight into it. Don't want to do loads of waffling. I'm cutting this down, the width that I need. I'm going to put it into the boat as a whole piece, and I'm going to show you a little tool I've made. And I'm going to basically cut out the stringer. Then I'm going to show you how you can get it super close to the curve of the hole. The way I'm doing it is really easy and really fast. Literally anybody could do it. I could get my son to do it. There's a few little things you've got to do to get it right. It is a bit fiddly, but anyone can literally do it. So I'm going to cut this quickly. We're going to get in the boat and I'm going to show you the way I'm doing the stringers. And before I cut this stuff is absolutely disgusting. That's how I can put it. The dust off it is nasty. It is really not nice. I didn't realise, but for some reason this stuff makes you itch. I don't know why. It makes you itch like crazy. Also, the dust's really fine, and because it's so light, you can't brush it up and get rid of it properly. You might have seen on one of my last videos, there was literally dust everywhere. It's this stuff. It's just really light. It's just foam, basically. You can't get rid of it. Also, when I was in the house the other night, sitting there in the living room coughing, and I actually coughed out a piece of Celotex, believe it or not. It's really not clever. I didn't realise what it was like. So, I will be wearing this when I touch it or cut it. Basically, I do not want to be breathing this stuff in. I didn't realise how bad it was. It's my own fault, a bit like naive I suppose. I should have read up about it. But yeah, I will be wearing this, and I've got this suit on. I am back in work tonight, so I'm going to do a couple hours on the boat, get some sleep, and then I'm in work tonight. So yeah, whenever you see me doing anything with this board, the foam board, I will be wearing a mask, and I have got PPE on. I'm fed up of the itching, I'm fed up of just the crap off it all. So protect yourself when you're using something like this. This board is actually called Celotex. It's an insulation board. They use it in the UK for loft insulation, wall insulation, in stud walls, stuff like that. I will explain more about this when we're in the boat, cutting it out. Well, as you can see, I've got the Celotex board in the boat. The straight edge is at the bottom. Probably doesn't really matter. Basically, however deep the thing is in the hole, you need the deepness on this board. What I've done this time, really for this job, you do need 2 people. You need someone to hold the board while you trace the line out. But what I've done, I've cut it so it's wedged, as you can see. It's not going to move. Obviously you can't do that all the way down, so you do need someone to hold it. It makes your life way easier. I had someone hold one for me, then they had to go, so I did the rest on my own, and it is a bit of a struggle on your own because you can't put pressure on the board. Anyway, I was struggling to get the shape of the hull onto this, so what I made was this. This is literally a fiberglass corner roller, and then you've got the handle, as you can see there, taped to a piece of wood. I drilled a hole in for a pencil to fit in, which pulls out. So the pencil goes in there. I've made it so the pencil don't move up and down with the tape on it. And what you basically do, you put that on the hull that way, and you come along the hull and it traces the line onto the foam. That's basically the way it works. What I'll try and do now is show you how it works. I'm hoping you can see the bottom of the hull. Right, I'll try and explain how you have to use this. It goes on the hull like that, the pencil goes on the board, and you've got to basically just do that all the way down and all the way across. A couple of things: when you've got it against the board here like that, you cannot let it tilt that way or tilt that way because it'll change the height of the line. Same with this, you can't let it tilt that way or tilt that way, so you can't have it tilting backwards and forwards or left or right. You have to keep it dead straight. That's the fiddly part. So you got to come along it dead straight, basically upright and not sloping back or forth. It technically is better with the point. On my own, I can't use the point. I've had to put this on as a wheel. When you've got just the point, it's a lot more accurate than the wheel. The wheel brings you up too much, so you do have a gap. but then there's another little clever trick which you can do to get it even closer. So yeah, I've had to put this on just so I can do it on my own. You are better with a point, like I've done there. Just sharpened it off like a pencil. So what I'm going to do is go along it now, show you how I'm tracing it out. And yeah, and you'll see how it works. It is really easy, it is really clever. So what I'm going to do is start at the highest point up here. So you have to get two hands on this really, just so you can keep it steady. So I'm going to start up there with a pencil. Keep the stick straight. Go slow. And just make sure you keep it the same. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that line, it's perfectly conformed to the hull. And it's really easy to do, it's not difficult. This would be a lot easier on a traditional type V hull boat, because it'll just be down and back up. And if you use the point, any ribs or any slats in that hull, this point will go and bang on. That is literally it. So I'm going to cut that out now, and it will drop in. There may be a gap of probably 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, maybe something like that. But then there's another trick which I'll do, and you'll see it gets it spot on, and it's easy. Literally a 5-year-old could do the next part. It's not difficult. This is the awkward part, but to be fair, you do not have to be that accurate. You're just trying to get this fairly close so you can drop it in and do the next stage. So this now, we'll cut it and we'll see how it fits. This stuff cuts really easily. It is not difficult to cut. The best way I found to cut it is with a jigsaw. It's not because it's tough, you just get a nice smooth clean edge and it's easy to follow. With a handsaw it's hard to get around the curves and the forms of the boat. I did use a Stanley blade. You can cut through with a Stanley, not a problem, but when you snap it, it leaves a bad edge. So I found this the best way. You can see the dust, it's ridiculous. I'm going to put my mask on, we're going to cut this out, we're going to put it back in the boat and see how close it is. You don't have to worry about the top of it, because the top of it will be cut at a later date. Now that is very, very, very close. The edges are a bit off for some reason. Don't know why, I don't know what I've done wrong there, but I'm going to get in now and show you the way you can get it a lot closer. But as you can see, that's pretty good. That is pretty close. I don't know if you can see it on the camera very well. Yeah, I think you can. We do have a little bit of a gap down there, but don't forget, this stringer is going to be cut down to about here. So really, you've got all of this room to play with. So you can keep adjusting the bottom and dropping it and dropping it and dropping it, because we've got so much excess at the top. It's roughly going to be there, the stringer height. So yeah, we've got a good 8 inches of like overcut. So we can mess about with this now and cut it closer and closer and closer. I might have to put the camera on the side to do this part, because I haven't got room to do it here. I'll have to show you from the back side. Right, the next tool is simply that. It's a couple of wedges and a pencil taped together. This was one of my builder friends who's actually working over there. He said to me, get like a 10mm block and do it like this. I was like, oh, I never thought of that. Basically, this is the mini version of the other tool. But with this, if you've got a big gap, you can use this side. If you've got a small gap, you can use this side. It's a flat pencil if you look. This pencil's probably designed for doing this, but I just didn't realise. So what I'm going to do, you come along on here now, and there's quite a big gap here, look. So even with it on the blocks, the gap doesn't get covered. Here, it's very tight, look. It's right against the hole perfectly. So what you could do, you put it that way and cut it out, mark it like that, look. That's how you mark it. Because we've got so much, the stringer line is roughly going to be there. This is going to be quite a shallow stringer. So what I'm going to do is use the thick side and basically trace the hull onto the foam and cut it again. Put it back in, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, until you get it really close. Sometimes you only have to do it once and you've got it spot on. Sometimes you've got to do it 5-6 times. So I've got lines on the hull. I've measured 400 So I want the sump at the back 400mm deep. It's going to be 400 wide, so it'll hold plenty of water. So what I'll do now, I've got this marked. As you can see, we've got quite a big gap here. So we'll start from wherever the pencil touches the foam. I'm hoping you can see exactly what I'm doing. Basically, you just hold it flat on the hull, keep it flat, like that, and you move along the board like this. Now this will get us a lot closer. As you can see, the gap's a bit big there. So as you can see, we've got that side done that quick. Come to this side and we'll just do the same again. Just make sure the foam does not move, because the hull may be a different shape a few inches further in. The only thing you won't be able to do with these blocks is get very intricate areas like this here in the keel or in these parts. You can mess about with the pencil on its own to get those parts, but to be fair, the sides doesn't matter because it's not going to be up here, the deck is, and this doesn't matter because I'm going to be having pipes running through there. So yeah, that's it. We're going to cut this out now, make sure that mark's good. What I'm going to do is turn it over the pencil side just to get into there a little bit so we can get a bit of the shape, so I can see where I need to go like that, look. And it'll be the same here, just a rough mark like that. We'll cut this out now quickly and we'll see how it fits now. And just after one cut quickly like that, look, that would be fine because I'm fiberglassing it, but because I've got plenty of waste at the top, I can do it again and again and again and get it even closer than what it is now. So most of it now you can reach with a pencil, look, as you can see, most of that will go. What I'm going to do one more time with a thick side, and then we can fine tune it with the pencil. As you can see, look, it reaches now on all of it. When I come round it, look. Take your time, don't rush this step because you can get it really close. You don't need to, because the foam isn't structural, it is literally just there to mould the fiberglass around. It's just to give you a template. But as you can see what I'm saying, anyone can do this. This part is not difficult. You don't need any, I don't know, like craftsman's skill to do this part. It's that simple. Just so I can get the shape there, look. I'm making that part up. I don't need it to go down into the keel, to be honest, but it don't hurt just to show you it can be done if you wanted to. I'm just getting the shape off there like that. Bit of freehand. So yeah, as you can see, we've got another line now. So we'll just cut that out. And that's it. You keep going like that until you're happy with the fit. We do have a gap here, as you can see, right there. It's not big, look, because the pencil won't fit in that way. It'll fit in flat ways. But we'll get that really close now. Now, as you can see, that is a super nice fit. I don't have to touch that anymore, technically. It is done. But with the OCD, I can see a little gap that side, so I'm going to go over it again. And I'll just keep doing that until I'm happy with the fit. But as you can see, that is seriously easy. Anybody can do that. From here, look, you'll see how the pencil works. Like that, and you mark it like that, basically, all the way around. If you've got a gap where the pencil won't reach, technically, look, the pencil is going under there. Flip it over to there. You can do this any thickness you like. It doesn't have to be the same thickness as this, but you can see that would be a lot bigger offcut there, look. So if you're doing that, you need to follow round the whole hull like this, because you can't just snip off little bits. If you got a gap like that, this part here is stopping that going down. So what I'll do is trace from about there. I'll trace this section across like that to where it don't touch anymore, which is right there. I'll cut that part out and then there won't be a gap here then. That'll sit down nice. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that closely, how that works. But yeah, it's simple, it's easy to do. I've just done that on my own, you've just seen. It hasn't taken long. And obviously I'm trying to explain it on a video, and I'm doing it with a jigsaw, cutting it in the boat, so it's not that accurate either. My hand's not as steady. So if you do this on a bench, yeah, it's absolutely spot on, and it's really easy to do. As you can see there, we've got all the stringers in. They do need a little bit more trimming in places and just recentering, but yeah, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, that's 5 there at the moment. It's probably going to have 6, 7, there's probably going to be about 8 total, something like that. I'm hoping I've got enough of this Celotex to do it. But yeah, that's how you do the stringers. There will be another video when we start shaping them, like to the level of the deck, and then fiberglassing them in and stuff. But yeah, wanted to do a quick video on cutting stringers, so that's how you do it. I hope you found the video useful. If you can, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.